The evening sun cast a warm glow across the small park at the edge of the city. Children were playing soccer on the patchy grass, parents sat on benches watching, and vendors sold roasted corn, bottled water, and soft drinks to passers-by. Among the gentle bustle, a 12-year-old boy named Malik walked barefoot along the cracked pavement. His clothes were old and slightly torn, but his eyes carried a light that poverty could not dim. Malik was known in the neighborhood as the boy who always helped others, whether carrying heavy shopping bags for strangers or giving away his only piece of bread to someone hungrier than himself. That day, while picking up discarded bottles to sell for recycling, Malik noticed something unusual near a shaded corner of the park. An old man in his late 70s struggled with his wheelchair. The right wheel had popped off, and the chair leaned dangerously to one side. The man's wrinkled hands trembled as he tried to fix it, his face growing pale from the effort. Passers-by glanced at him but kept walking, too busy to stop. Malik froze. His heart ached. He couldn't just walk by. He dropped the bottles he had collected, rushed forward, and said softly, "Sir, don't worry. I can help you." The old man, weary and embarrassed, looked up. His eyes, deep and sharp despite his age, studied the boy. "You're just a child. Do you even know how to fix this?" Malik grinned, showing his gap-toothed smile. "I fix old bikes and carts all the time. I'll try. Please let me." The man hesitated, then nodded slowly. "All right, young one. Do what you can." Malik knelt beside the chair, carefully inspecting the broken wheel. His small hands worked with surprising skill as he adjusted the loose screws and tried to realign the axle. Sweat formed on his forehead, but his eyes never left the task. "Where did you learn this?" the old man asked, curious. "My papa used to fix things," Malik replied without looking up. "Before he passed away. Now I fix things to remember him, and to help people like he did." The old man's expression softened. There was a faint tremor in his voice when he said, "Your father raised a good boy." Malik's fingers tightened the last bolt with the help of a small rusty wrench he always carried in his pocket. He gently tested the wheel, and to both their relief, it spun smoothly again. "There," Malik said, wiping his brow. "It's not perfect, but it should work." The man moved the wheelchair back and forth. The wheels rolled without resistance. His lips parted in astonishment. "You did it!" Malik's eyes lit up with joy. "I'm glad. You shouldn't struggle alone, sir." The old man chuckled quietly. Not many children would stop to help an old man with a broken chair. "Thank you, Malik." The boy blinked. "How do you know my name?" The man smiled knowingly. "I asked around. People here speak well of you. You've helped many." Malik's cheeks flushed with embarrassment. "I just do what anyone should." But in the man's heart, something stirred. What Malik didn't know was that this old man was not an ordinary stranger. His name was Mr. Henry Caldwell, a billionaire businessman who had built empires of technology, real estate, and philanthropy. Yet Henry often disguised himself in simple clothes and ventured into the city without guards, longing to see how people truly lived. Most ignored him when they saw an old man in a wheelchair. Some treated him with pity, others with annoyance. Rarely did anyone show genuine kindness. But this barefoot boy, poor, hungry, yet smiling, had stopped everything to help without asking for anything in return. Henry's sharp mind began racing. Here was a child with a golden heart, a spirit unspoiled by hardship. "Malik," Henry said thoughtfully, "what do you dream of becoming when you grow up?" The boy hesitated. "I want to be an engineer, sir. To build things that make life easier for people." But his eyes dimmed. "School is hard when Mama can't afford books or fees. Sometimes I think dreams are only for rich kids." Henry's chest tightened. He thought of all the wealth he had, the mansions, the cars, the businesses, and yet here sat a boy with more riches and kindness than many adults he knew. "Never let go of your dream," Henry said firmly. "Life has a way of rewarding those who refuse to give up." Malik nodded, though doubt lingered in his heart. The next day, Malik went back to the park. He hoped to find more bottles to recycle, but instead, he found Mr. Caldwell waiting for him on the same bench. The old man waved him over. "Ah, Malik. I was hoping to see you again." Malik grinned. "Did the wheelchair hold up, sir?" "Yes," Henry replied warmly. "Thanks to you. But today, I need another kind of help." He handed Malik a small envelope. "Inside is some money. I dropped it yesterday and wasn't sure where it went. Could you keep it safe for me?" Malik opened the envelope cautiously. His eyes widened. It was filled with crisp dollar bills, more than his family could dream of earning in months. His hands trembled. Hunger gnawed at his stomach. His mother's worn face flashed in his mind. With this money, he could buy food, clothes, maybe even pay for school. But Malik's heart pounded with conflict. His father's words echoed in memory. "Son, honesty is worth more than gold. Never let hunger steal your soul." Slowly, Malik closed the envelope and handed it back. "Here, sir. It's yours. I could never keep what doesn't belong to me." Henry's throat tightened. Tears stung his eyes, though he quickly brushed them away. "You are a rare boy, Malik," he whispered. Days passed, and Malik thought little of the encounter beyond his usual chores. Then one morning, a sleek black car pulled up outside the crumbling building where he lived with his mother. Neighbors whispered in shock as men in suits stepped out. "Malik," one of them called, "Mr. Caldwell wishes to see you." Confused and frightened, Malik climbed into the car. When it stopped, he found himself standing before a towering mansion with marble steps, glistening fountains, and gardens that stretched further than he could see. Inside, Mr. Caldwell waited, no longer in plain clothes, but in a fine suit, surrounded by staff. Malik gasped. "Sir, you're rich." Henry chuckled softly. "Yes, Malik. I am Henry Caldwell, a billionaire. But yesterday, I was just an old man in need, and you treated me with kindness, without knowing who I was. That is what matters." Malik's mouth fell open. He had never been in such a place, never imagined speaking to a billionaire face to face. Henry stepped closer. "You passed 2 tests, compassion and honesty. Those are rarer than diamonds. Because of this, I want to help you." Henry introduced Malik to a private tutor, provided books, clothes, and even arranged a scholarship for him to attend one of the best schools in the city. Malik's mother, overwhelmed with tears, could only whisper blessings as she held her son tightly. But Henry didn't stop there. He gave Malik a small workshop in the city where he could tinker, repair, and eventually invent. Malik threw himself into his studies, excelling in science and mechanics. Soon, he built a prototype wheelchair, lighter, faster, and easier to use than any before. Henry was so impressed that he funded its development. Within a few years, Malik's design was distributed worldwide, giving freedom and dignity to countless disabled people. And every time Malik saw someone smile in his chair, he remembered the day he helped a struggling old man in the park. Years later, Malik stood tall as a young man, delivering a speech at a global innovation conference. Cameras flashed, the audience applauded, and beside him, Henry Caldwell, older but proud, watched like a father. "My journey began with nothing but a heart to help," Malik told the crowd. "I fixed a broken wheelchair, not knowing that act of kindness would change my life. Today, I stand here not as a boy who was poor, but as someone rich in lessons of honesty, compassion, and dreams." The crowd rose in a standing ovation. Henry's eyes glistened with pride. To him, Malik was not just a boy he had helped. He was a legacy of hope, proof that kindness has the power to transform the world. The story of Malik and Mr. Caldwell spread far and wide. Newspapers called it the boy who fixed more than a wheelchair. But for Malik, it was never about money or fame. It was about staying true to what his father taught him, that integrity and compassion are the real treasures. In the end, Malik's kindness gave him an opportunity beyond imagination, and Henry's wealth found a true heir, not by blood, but by character. A single act of kindness can open doors no key could ever unlock.